Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
It's fucking springtime.
Fucking spring!
Oh, man.
Finally. Well, hold on. Allergies.
Well,
I fucking hate allergies.
all right. I mean, blooming flowers, runny noses. Yeah, you know. Here's the thing. I think I'd rather have a runny nose on a nice day than just fucking miserable cold.
Because the past couple of days I did get like sprees of sneezing, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Where I probably sneezed like 20 times in the span of like 10 minutes.
Last night I considered putting a bullet in my
Maybe
head.
5.
I was trying to like
Bullet in your head?
Yeah, right as I was going to bed.
Yeah.
Like not having a problem at all. Right as I'm going to bed, I get in my bed and my left nostril starts tingling.
Yeah.
And now I'm pouring mucus out of my nose for like the next 30 minutes.
Yep.
I'm like almost ready to cry because I can't fall asleep because my nose is just completely blocked.
You're so ready to have a good nap.
Yeah, dude. I was
good sleepy poop.
I was like defeated and ready to go down, but my fucking horrible sleep apnea will just kill me if my nose is plugged. So I just sat there in the dark for I have no idea how long, dude. I know that I remember sitting there just being like, I hate my life so much, and then I remember waking up. It's like, all right, did I fall asleep sitting here, or do I just not remember? Like, did I fall over at one point?
I had conscious.
Yeah,
did I run out of air?
Dude, it was one of those kind of sleeps that like, because I've got like the worst fucking sleep apnea. And I do nothing about it, and so I get up to pee all the time because I'm suffocating. It was one of those kind of sleeps, dude. I woke up, I took 2 steps, and went nose face first everything into my wall. I have no idea where I was.
Oh my god!
I still don't know where I was.
Oh my god!
Because like, I was thinking about the layout in my room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where could I have face planted a wall like that and not hit like a dresser or like the TV or my bed or the door
Something.
itself? But whatever it was, dude, it was a hard face first into the wall.
So, like you slipped forward?
No, like,
wait, what?
So I'm so used to getting up to piss
Oh,
that like I don't even think I need to open my eyes. Like I can basically roll as soon as my right foot hits the ground. It's like 4 steps to the door, right? And I just pee out the door and I look at Bubbles' window. And sometimes I try to get to his window from my door.
Yeah. Oh my
I
god!
can get close. I can hit the wall under it sometimes.
Oh my fucking god!
And so like I think I'm just so used to like, it's a mad dash because you're about to piss yourself every time. So I think my body is just so used to pitch black, like being able to just hit the ground, take 3 steps, and be at that door, that I hit the ground, took 2 steps, and was in that wall. And then I was so tired that like
You just fucking KO'd yourself.
Yeah, and I'm so tired that I'm like standing there almost like I couldn't register where I was.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I can't believe I just hit this wall. It was just like, why is there a wall here?
Wait, am I in my room?
Where the fuck am I?
Yeah. Did I just get taken away Saw style?
What am I facing right now?
Yeah.
Where the fuck
you wake
did I
up
go?
to a ball and chain.
Dude,
You're in orange jumpsuit and
bro.
shit.
Like if you look there's no area in my room where there's just wall to do that with. Like you're gonna hit something.
Do you think you ran into another hard flat surface?
I could have,
somewhere?
I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe I rocked the TV hella hard.
Yeah, is there like a face plant? Like is it face sized?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on tonight, and it's all the pixels are gonna be dead.
Where your face was?
Yeah, dude.
You're clearly your eyebrow and your
big
nose.
Black spot and rainbow shimmers all around it. Fuck. All right, that's what I hit.
Yeah, that or the door maybe.
I couldn't. No, because I definitely know I had to like regroup and like I shifted and eventually found the door.
You had to regroup.
Yeah, dude. Like
you had to call for reinforcements.
I shit you not, bro. I hit that wall and I must have stood there for like a good 40 seconds.
Just reassemble the troops.
Yeah, dude.
Hold on, what's
I
happening
stood there
here?
just motionless as my brain is trying to like reboot.
The double back
It's
team.
Like, it's like 1:30 in the morning. It's like my brain's been dead for 4 hours. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. So I guess you definitely just hit
I just,
a random part
Yeah.
of your apartment, I guess. Then
Yeah,
is there a wall like right next to the door that's?
no, that's
I don't know, I'm trying to dissect this in
See,
some way, but
right
I don't
by
really
the-
know your layout too well.
right by the door is the portable AC unit, which is big because it sits on the ground, and then my dresser, and then this other coat shirt dresser thing made out of black pipe. So I mean, I could have maybe ducked the black pipe somehow and hit that wall, or barely, because I know I didn't hit the wall that the door's on. It's not a very big room.
I mean,
You know,
it's not. No,
it's
really.
not. Like, so to not know where I was is fucking insane. And then, swear to Christ, dude, like this morning, like 5 a.m, is the first time I've ever really considered throwing hands with bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought about actually hitting them for the first time.
Yeah.
Now, for you listeners, all right, I know, I understand that this sounds like this grown man wants to beat up a mentally handicapped person.
No, they know who Bubbles is.
But fuck you
They know
guys.
Bubbles at this
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, autistic or not, dude, he was about to fucking be a grown man this morning. I swear to God, dude. So I'm getting my coffee. It's my 5 a.m. coffee. The first thing I do every morning is scare the shit out of my roommate Pat.
Is this still black tie? I mean, black tie. Black tie.
Oh, dude, I forgot we were doing a hibiscus is $49.99. But if you promo code thickness all lowercase letters, that motherfucker's gonna be 10% off.
And it never
This will all loop back.
It never came.
I did this all in the flamingo shirt, by the way. The Mingo 2.0.
Yes.
And the shark bite. Oh, it's almost shark bite Bolton's face. My fucking fist this morning.
Yeah,
dude.
because you bit a chunk out of your wall.
Dude, so yeah, I mean, I think that was part of it for sure. But so every morning, the first thing I do is I scare the piss out of Pat because, you know, he's dying and he's in a hospital bed in the living room.
Yeah.
So every morning he somehow forgets that I'm eventually going to open that door and come get some coffee. So I'll go in there and I'll hear, "Who's that?" And then I have a choice. I can immediately acknowledge it and be like, "Pat, it's fine. It's me, buddy." And I'll be, "Okay." And then I'll go back to bed. Or every now and then I stay quiet. And then like he goes, "Get out of here." Like, he starts freaking out.
Like he starts
Like,
panicking.
yeah, like he's gonna scare off.
You're
the
just
intruders.
harassing some decrepit, like dying person.
That's what he fucking gets, dude. Tired. You know what? Sometimes when I get him out of his chair or out of his bed and I help him get in his wheelchair, I could feel his pee on my clothing.
Yeah.
So I get my little fun every now and then. You know?
Sure,
I
you
think
get your
that's
win
fair.
out of there.
I think that's fair. And no, okay, so yeah, I wake up, scare Pat,
Check.
start making my coffee.
First start of the day.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude.
Done.
And I hear
Good start. Good start.
I hear that Bubbles is in the bathroom. So I look down the hallway really quick, and of course he's got the door wide open. And what do I see? This motherfucker has my shower towel on the ground, and he's drying up the area around the floor of the toilet with it.
Oh.
And then picked it back up and
And
put
you
it on
know
the
that
rack.
area is disgusting.
He probably
too.
just pissed all over it.
Yeah.
He probably woke up in the middle of the night. 5 a.m. for him is the middle of the night. Pissed all over everything.
Oh, Bubbles.
And then used my towel.
That's not okay.
My towel.
That's not
Oh,
okay.
I came down the hallway.
To put
dude.
it back on the rack too. You know,
Oh,
which
dude,
is
I literally walk 5 in the morning. Mom's sleeping. His mom. Pat's, whatever he's doing in his hospital bed.
Yeah.
Drifting. Between
between
realms.
realities. Yeah.
Yeah,
Trying to
dude.
choose what universe he wants to land in next.
Yeah, dude. Whatever gets him out of the fucking this one for a little while. And I come down like quietly and I go, "Bubbles, if I ever fucking see you do that again, I'm gonna make a grown man out of you in this fucking bathroom." I swear to God, dude, it is a fist fight on site, no warnings.
Oh, I took that a completely different
Like,
way.
I'm gonna fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck him. That comes at the end. I come at the end every time, dude. I put the fear of Christ in the Bubbles. I swear to God, dude. Because now I'm paranoid. How many times has he done this?
That comes at the end.
Was this the first time I happened to catch him the first time? No, Probably not.
Oh yeah,
Which means
that's
probably,
the realization there too.
That's why
yeah.
I was so mad. Is the idea? It's like that means before I've probably fucking used my towel and fucking Bubbles used it for piss or something.
Yeah.
And now he has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
No, he can't. I think that's enough of crossing the line that doesn't matter that he's autistic.
Mm-hmm.
We should be able to throw hands like gentlemen.
Yeah, dude.
I think
you need to learn.
That's deserving of real world consequences.
Yeah.
Some things will let you slide. You know what I'm saying? And some things you're gonna have to be a grown up about.
Sometimes the real world has to kind of teach you
Yeah,
something.
dude. And I'm about to teach the fuck out of you, man.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, I can't. It's like I want to say who the fuck even thinks that's okay, but then you're like, well, it's Bubbles. He's autistic.
It's Bubbles, right?
You know,
So it's
like he's autistic. It literally doesn't think about that
he's
shit.
Gonna
you
forget.
know?
He's probably already forgot that conversation even happened. Cause
Yeah.
It was so early in the
Well,
morning.
maybe not.
Yeah. Well,
Well, maybe not.
You know what he does. You know what? The only thing that I could that's for me is knowing that he can't taste if I pee in his bong, so he could be a little bastard all he wants. I'm getting the last laugh all the time.
Oh my god,
Dude, he's a fucking. One time I fucking put my finger in my ass.
Yeah.
And then I came and in the garage and I just all over the mouthpiece of his dab ring.
Oh.
Just circled and then he came out and took a fat dab. Dude, one time.
Oh my god.
One time, I forgot what he did. He did something like it was just like it was. He made me so mad. I can't remember what it was. It was a while ago, like years ago at this point. But he made me so fucking mad. I remember I pissed into his dab rig, not a full piss, not a full piss.
But still.
Enough to where I
still.
lined the head of my dick up with the mouthpiece, pushed my dick against the mouthpiece.
A little bit of pressure in there.
No, yeah, so I know that his mouth has touched my dick, and then I just peed a little bit. I peed a little bit,
Fucking god.
pulled away, went outside, finished off,
Oh my god.
and then I remember he comes in, he takes this fat dab, and I literally went. I was like, dude, that dab smelled like piss. And he's telling me it's this new one he got.
Yeah, dude,
Fuck
this
you.
stuff is real dank.
Yeah.
Oh
Man, you gotta get him where you can, you know.
man, I don't even know whose side to take.
Dude,
That's so bad,
Dude.
bro.
yeah.
Oh, but
Piss on your shower towel.
oh,
Piss on your shower towel.
oh my god.
Your trusted towel.
Oh I mean, again, that's not wrong.
do
That's
you-
not correct either.
Do you use like one towel per shower, or do you have a towel like last you the
Oh,
week, or
fucking
like a
hell.
few days at least?
Usually the latter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's why my fear is like I've been with Bubbles for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
How many times you've
many
lathered his
times-
piss on you?
yeah, his piss, Pat's piss, my piss.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Guests of the house piss.
yeah.
Fucking blood.
And you know that
pubes.
bathroom is not. I imagine it's not very clean.
I'm the only one who cleans it.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
because I don't gather the courage to do that too often. Like, I clean it when my mom comes to visit.
It's a real adventurous journey,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh yeah, no, I'm the only one. I'm the only
That's
one.
a real
I keep
trilogy of an adventure.
the toilet clean because I do have female guests, and I think my grandma would haunt me until I died if I let them see that.
Sure.
So like, I keep the toilet clean and I clean my room.
Yeah.
Everything else is just whatever the fuck. It's not my house. Like,
Sure.
I'll help you guys, but I'm not. Bubbles is fucking made,
Yeah.
dude. Because I'll clean that garage by myself, and I can leave for a week and not even be there once, and it'll look like before I cleaned it by the time I come back.
Yeah.
Like Bubbles is a shit pig tornado.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And I can be a bit of a shit pig tornado when you're sitting next to one too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not the
Sure.
perfect person, but
Sure.
Jesus Christ, dude, he's just a fucking, just no regards for anything. He's such a fuck, dude. So yeah, he almost got
That
it.
sucks.
He almost really got it this morning. Oh,
Probably
man.
would have deserved it.
Dude, pee on my
Yeah,
shower.
yeah,
towel?
yeah,
He's
you
gonna
know.
die, dude. He's gonna fucking. He's going to die.
Just make sure that you hide the body, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Allegedly.
Like one thing I do to him. Oh man. This is gonna be the worst thing I've said.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
These are
Yeah.
characters that we're
I've
playing.
definitely never done this.
Bubbles isn't real.
A
Neither
character
are you
named
or I.
Yeah, a character named Thickness did this to a character named Bubbles. I have no idea. Me and my roommate have nothing to do with this.
All people on the
But-
show are figments of your imagination and
Exactly.
characters of fiction.
Yeah, TM trademark. And
Wait.
and that little R with the circle in it.
Characters of nonfiction?
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah. There you
Yeah.
go.
TM.
So every now and then, and he'll just go into the bathroom with no care in the world, and just piss all over the fucking seat lid.
I
It's
would
like he doesn't
knock his teeth out just for that, dude.
It's like he does. And we've had quite a few conversations about that.
Mm-hmm.
He also leaves some strange dick residue on the front of the toilet bowl sometimes
Ew.
that doesn't just come off,
Oh.
right? And I don't know what that is. It's like black specks
Ew.
right where your D's and B's go, right?
What
and
the fuck?
And I'm not letting my D's and B's lay up against that.
Yeah.
So of course I come in after Bubbles sometimes, and there's piss everywhere, and D and B old schmegma on the toilet or whatever it is. From it's just dead skin and then Lynn's dreams just fucking plastered on that thing, and so on the back of the toilet there's like usually like a little stack of washcloths for that rare blue moon situation that Bubbles takes a shower. So I always use the washcloths to clean up all of his piss, and then I lightly put them back. Like I don't unfold them. I just grab it. It's folded into 4. I grab it and I just fucking everything, and then I put it right back on the pile. And then whenever I go in there and I see that it's on the little shower rack,
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
And the little victory for
It's like,
yourself.
oh, dude, he just rubbed all that all over himself, and he thinks he's clean. He's a fucking animal that doesn't fucking clean himself, man. I was talking shit to him about today. You want to hear some horrible shit? It's on the list.
It's already horrible.
It's on the list. Number 3 on our list today.
What is number 3?
So we talked about this a couple weeks ago. And this kid, yeah, your face is right. We talked about how for some reason at the Thunderdome, they have a freezer full of dead animals.
No shit.
So our theory was right. Our theory was right.
They fucking eat them?
No, they don't eat them.
Oh, okay.
They ran out of space from how many animals they've had died and buried.
Oh, yeah, so they do have a literal fucking pet cemetery in their
Yes.
backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
fucking
think-
God, dude.
I guess the thing is one, they were pigeon racers at one point. So there's probably a lot of pigeons in there.
Yeah.
The first 2 things they buried in the yard were both golden retrievers.
Oh,
So that's
big animals.
quite a bit of real estate, yeah. And yeah, eventually they just ran out of room and started putting them in a deep freezer. Now this is where this
What
gets
the
strange, right?
fuck,
So the
dude?
contents of the deep freezer, from what I know, there's a koi fish, a couple birds, some pidgeys, I think a parrot. There's a turtle. There's 2 pugs, like 4 cats, including the new cat that Tommy just threw in there. But
What the fuck,
on
dude?
top of all of these corpses, ice cream, pizza.
Ew.
Yeah,
Ew.
dude.
Dude,
These fucking animals are eating from
I
it.
think we're supposed to call
They're
somebody,
fucking
bro.
I want to call Child Protective
I
Services.
think we're supposed
this
to.
man has a
dude.
daughter.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think we're supposed to call CPS and Animal
dude.
Protective
Somebody
Services,
should.
dude.
Fuck.
Oh
Dude,
my fucking God.
These fucking
bro.
animals, bro. They're
I'm kind of considering it. I'm not gonna lie.
They're putting ice cream in this fucking deep freezer on top of
God.
the last decade's worth of
Dude,
dead pets.
I'm sorry, but this is just confirming. I don't care how controversial this might be, but you should not be allowed to procreate if you have some sort of mental disability.
You should at least be watched.
You,
Yeah, seriously.
you really shouldn't be allowed to. There needs to be some kind of fucking test. I don't know what solution, but there needs to be prerequisites before
Bro,
you
yeah,
can
somebody-
procreate, dude. That's not okay, dog.
Because Tommy, he's pretty, he's like Bubbles. He was the one of the other 3 that Bubbles graduated with in that special school. So
Yeah.
there was only 3 of them
Yeah.
in that whole school of Magneto's fucking tart paradise.
Magnetos.
And the 3rd girl was afraid of clouds, and then you got Bubbles and Tommy, the leader of the Thunderdome. And the Tommy has a child.
Yeah.
She doesn't live with him.
Good.
So,
Good.
Yeah, she
Fucking
rightfully
good.
lives with the woman that was dumb enough to have a child with a retarded person.
Yeah.
A clearly retarded person.
Yeah.
He doesn't mask very well as a non, you know what I'm saying? You can tell when you're talking just like Bubbles. Like
Yeah.
some autistic people, like, as we've learned through our own classmates, they either mask so well you have no idea, or and they know, or they mask so well that nobody knows.
Yeah.
Right? Like we've had friends that get diagnosed with autism in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just because, well, you know, they seem that they're fine.
Yeah, they just landed on the spectrum where it doesn't impact them socially as much.
Yeah, and I'm
know?
starting to not believe in any of that, by the way. This whole autism spectrum thing, like it's getting to the point where everybody's on it.
No, yeah.
And I think that that's not fair to the people who need help.
Sure.
Who need real help. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I don't care if you're a little socially awkward. I don't think you're autistic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like maybe, you know, like I think if you can process your emotions, if you have the ability for real sympathy and empathy, and you're not, you know, and you went to college, I don't think you're autistic. I think you're in this weird trend of big pharma telling everybody that they're this and that, you know,
Sure.
just like, I think ADHD might be real, sure, but I don't think that 90% of the male population in the last 20 years has it. But that's how they're diagnosing it. You know, like I'm pretty sure I would have had ADHD or OCD or even autism if my parents would have got me tested. Those
Sure.
tests could be expensive though, apparently. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, I was in my eyes a normal kid who was interested in what he was interested in. I'm still sure they would have been like, yeah, he's got ADD or ADHD or something.
Yeah.
Just because I had mild energy. You know, it's always dudes too. Like it's all these
Yeah,
young
I
boys.
really know nothing about this topic, really. You know,
Well, like there's, it's just, it seems like, you know, because I think ADD and ADHD that kind of spread with us, right? Like our generation was when it started to become a little bit more publicized. Like it became a word. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody was saying ADD in 1980.
probably not.
Not in 1970 for sure. Like it wasn't a thing. You know, I think they're still calling people mongoloids back then. You know, if you were retarded, you probably had Down syndrome. You know what I'm saying? If you were autistic, you were probably just a little slow. But more or less probably regarded as a normal person.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden, like, our generation comes along and it's like all these boys have ADD. They can't sit still and pay attention in class. It's like, well, they're 8. You know, of course he doesn't want to fucking be there. Like,
Sure.
is a kid have a mental disorder for wanting to be a kid? You know, like,
No.
I just, like, with the amount of people who got diagnosed with it that were just normal people that were pretty energetic as they're youthful. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're adults and they're fine. You know, like, how many 30-year-olds do you know that actually have ADD? You know, like, there are some, like I said, I believe it's real, but every fucking person, or now for some reason 90% of us did, and now only 20 of us do as we get older. Like it's something you grow out of. And then in that case, is autism going to be something you can grow out of? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like they're putting everybody on it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
They're just like, you're on the spectrum, you're a little weird.
Yeah.
And people believe it because doctors told you, right?
Yeah, it
But,
does
you
feel
know,
like a blanket effect sometimes, for sure.
because the spectrum's just getting wider. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to be like so much smaller that there was other things that they call autism today. You know, like Asperger's was a dude who showed signs of autism, but that didn't exactly line up with the formula back in the day. And they were just like, oh, that must be something else. Now we're like, now it's autism. Asperger's doesn't exist. If you've had it your whole life, your life's not real. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, science decided that you don't exist, and now you're this thing. Good luck explaining that to somebody who has it.
Sure.
But I think it's really getting to a strange point. Like, I don't believe it anymore. Like, when somebody just says they're autistic, like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, are you? Are you? Like, I almost want to see some paperwork.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
so
Like,
a little stamp of approval
it's like,
somewhere.
yeah, it's like you seem to be way too like on the same level as me. So am I autistic or are you fucking stupid?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you like, are we all autistic or are you being tricked by a doctor? Because doctors don't know as much as we think they do, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked to a pulmonologist, and he was great. you know what I'm saying? He was the first doctor I've ever had that, like, was honest. And not in, like, doctors are dishonest, but, like, doctors don't always have time for your bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a lot of questions, you can ask them some. You know, this guy, he had time. You know what I'm saying? So he was really answering my questions, like my fears, my regrets, my doubts. And he would, instead of just a regular doctor either shrug it off or give you something small, he would really talk to me about it. And one of the things that we talked about was, you know, how movies make us think that doctors seem to know everything. And the reality is like we know a lot, but not as much, anywhere near as much as they perceive that we do, right? And that sometimes when you're being diagnosed and you're given medication, it's not that they're right. It's that they're trying to figure it out, right? So they might diagnose you like with ADD and give you ADD medication. You might not actually have ADD. That's just something that they're going for to see how it affects your brain, how it affects the patterns and what's going on with you, right? And then maybe when you come back, they'll go, oh, it wasn't that one. Let's give you this medication, right? And that kind of goes across the board with everything. It's not just your brain, right? Like when I was having that problem with my big toe, the guy tried to give me gout medication, but didn't believe I had gout. And I remember, like, I freaked out. I was like, you're going to try to give me some medication for some shit you don't even believe I have? Like, fuck you. Like, that's big pharma. I'm not talking to this guy. When the doctor, this guy was like, well, the thing is like, you had symptoms like gout. So he was just taking a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe it would have worked really well for you. Maybe it wouldn't have. Like, the fact that nothing was working for you, I mean, the guy was just trying to help.
Yeah.
So it's like, we got to stop kind of believing every single time the doctor's right. Because I don't think the doctor wants you to believe that.
Sure, yeah. The doctors in the medical field aren't all powerful.
Yeah, and they're doing their best, and they know a lot. But yeah, I mean, to think that they can't be wrong, you know what I'm saying, and to act like they don't work like 80-hour shifts and might be a little tired by the time they see you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes you like, you know, you're seeing a doctor who's been on call for the whole week, so he hasn't left the hospital, or she, you know, maybe to get like lunch. But other than that, like they've been pulling like a 16-hour, then sleeping in the on-call room for the other 8.
Sure.
It's, or, you know, especially if they're like psychos. Not psychos, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm really starting to question more and not just be like, he's the doctor, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to fucking take cancer medication if they give me cancer. But it does mean that, like, I'm not going to believe everybody that says they have autism anymore. I just think I think it's starting to get crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't really know a whole lot about the topics. I'm not really well informed to have a constructive opinion, I suppose. But I suppose it can feel kind of blanket effect like, you know, to a degree. But also I just don't know if that's just because the term is being recategorized, you know.
But here's the thing though. Let's say if doctors are right and like 80% of people are autistic, is that 80% people autistic, or is the other 20% the one that's not normal anymore? Because the majority, if they have autism, then that's evolution. As far as I'm concerned, like if all of us are like this, right, then that's what we've evolved into, right? The outliers are the ones without autism.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. You'd have to look at, like, data to really, like, see if it's a trend to equate to something like that, you know? But in theory, if it's, like, everybody, then sure, you know? Like, it could be a trait that's being adapted, you know?
I mean, it is rising, like, at a crazy level. And a lot of that is because our generation can't afford to have children at 20 anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, the ones that did were mostly the ones that were irresponsible. Some of them, you know, and irresponsible when they had the kid at 20, that doesn't mean they were bad parents or grew up to be bad parents. It just meant that, like, they weren't ready. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of us that want to be ready aren't achieving that young enough anymore. Because, you know, a house is fucking ridiculously expensive. You know, everything is. We're spending 30% more on food than we ever have.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man, people are living with their parents till their 30s. It's normal now. And that means they're buying their first house when they're 40, which means they're comfortable having their first kid at 42. Ding, 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 autism.
Mm-hmm.
So I can believe that those numbers are rising.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that trend, but it seems like, even though it seems like it's two things. It seems like, yes, we are waiting and getting older and older and having more autistic people.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I think that the spectrum is getting too wide too fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Sure.
not only do we have an uprise of truly autistic,
Mm-hmm.
you have an uprise of like a vague autistic that
Mm-hmm.
we loosely define that way.
Mhm.
And that's going to make the numbers skyrocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of, I guess, where my brain was going.
Yeah,
with
and
that.
I wonder where all that data is coming from. Is it coming from like society, or is it coming from actual research, like scientists and
Well,
doctors?
I think it comes from, which part of the data, I guess, because I would say
That's
some
what
of
I
it's
mean.
some of it's probably an uptick in. I mean, I'm sure the schools themselves, they know, right? So it's probably the school reports how many students they have with disabilities
I
and
don't
stuff
know.
like that.
I have no idea.
Because I feel like a school would probably get something for it, right? For having disabled people, you know.
I don't know.
Like if you're ADA accessible and you have a bunch of wheelchair kids, like
Mhm.
the government's gonna kick in a little extra for those wheelchair kids that they
Possibly.
probably wouldn't have given the school without them.
Maybe,
Uh,
honestly, it could be at a locked budget
Yeah.
too. I wouldn't be surprised there either.
Well, if you have a bunch of autistic people too, think about like a school's budget also depends a lot on the STAR testing, right? So if you have a bunch of
They say
fucking-
that, but I wonder how true that is.
I'd hope it's not, because if you think about it, if a big part of the budget's based on STAR testing and all your students are fucking autistic, then you guys aren't getting any budget next year. There's going to be a lot of
Right.
unfilled out bubbles.
Also, just like how many people
Yeah, empty
you know
scantrons.
were told about that as in high school,
about
whatever.
the
And then-
budget thing.
Yeah, and then took it seriously.
Nobody ever took it seriously, but it was the teachers who told. That's how I heard about
That's
it.
what I mean.
Because the teacher would always just be like, because we knew it wasn't for a grade,
right,
so we didn't give a fuck,
right,
right? Like, you tell us there's no grade, then I want to get this test over with because it doesn't affect me.
mm-hmm.
So that's when the teachers, from my experience, started being like, yeah, we got to take these really seriously because the well-being of the school depends on the average of all the scores put together. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, so like schools that are getting...
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, schools that are going to have a higher percentage are going to get a higher budget, and schools with lower will get less.
Yeah, and like while I get that, like my brain always with the whole questioning thing is like, where does that dialogue come from? Because like the teachers say that, yes, but I don't
you
know.
think it
many
might
of
be
us-
just like a
a misinterpretation
yeah,
or
just like
something? Because again,
a
like,
red herring.
I don't know how many people.
False
None of
flag.
us fucking took that shit seriously, right?
No.
So, is it like if we all do really well, they get potentially the budget increased, or is there like a bare minimum where they get their usual allocated budget that year?
Yeah.
Because that's different than like if we all bomb, we lose money. If we all bomb, maybe they just still make their budget
Well, yeah,
like
'cause
minimum.
You can't stop giving them milk and shit. Like, I guess, yeah. like-
Yeah, right. So I wonder if it's more like that and not really like, because like the whole livelihood or like the whole, we have to make good progress on these STAR tests, otherwise the school will lose money or we won't
Yeah.
get enough money. And I'm like, is that true, or are you just like kind of twisting the information?
Yeah.
So I have a hard time believing, as fucked up as our education system is, I have a hard time believing a school just outright pulling funding
Yeah.
or like just taking money away, period, because STAR testing was bad.
Yeah.
I have more time believing that there's a minimum that everyone gets, and if you do well in STAR testing, then maybe you get a higher budget increase.
I can believe that, and I can also see that having high STAR testing could lead to opening up your chances to get registered as a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you have a charter school, more funding because you're going to get more privatized funding because richer parents are going to want their kids to go to the charter school, which means, you have a much stronger PTA, you have stronger band boosters, football boosters, like the self-funding and donations can get crazy. Look at De La Salle.
Yeah.
Right? De La Salle looks like a fucking Princeton, and it's a high school. Their football players are like 6'4". They're 14
They're a
years
private
old.
school though, aren't they?
Yes,
Right?
private Catholic school. All-male private Catholic school. But that being said, a lot of their money are coming from the parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think I could see maybe it's like we're missing out on money because if we scored high enough, we could have had a chance to become a charter school. And if you don't score high enough, then you just don't get that chance. And like, yeah, you get your regular budget. So it's kind of like we're not missing out. We're not losing money by tanking. We're losing potential money that maybe we could have had by succeeding.
Yeah, that seems like bullshit, you know.
At the other side of it, though, I mean, I'm sure you remember this. All the schools around us were falling apart. Like we were, every year there was teacher layoffs. Another elective would get closed for good. Like out of our 14 high schools in Concord, our high school had the only auto shop left. And by the time we left, that guy taught one class.
Yeah.
Before, Mount had an auto shop. All the other high schools have a physical classroom with mechanical equipment in it that can't afford an auto teacher. You know, and like you start seeing a lot of those electives, like woodworking, kind of got narrowed down, and like the languages that weren't Spanish or French started getting cut out. No more German, no more
ASL.
Russian, ASL. Like, so we did watch budget cuts kind of tear shit apart while we were there. But yeah, I don't know if that has to do with STAR testing,
right?
Or just the fact that like you got one city trying to bounce this many fucking high schools. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're a rather large population, but we have high schools that are bringing in kids from other cities in our city. You know what I'm saying? Like Mount Diablo High School is primarily Pittsburgh and Antioch kids coming in through BART. They're not Concord residents. Northgate is a lot of Walnut Creek kids. You know what I'm saying? De La Salle kids are coming from all over the fucking Bay Area. You know, so Clayton Valley has this Clayton, but it's all in Concord, right? So Concord's paying for it. And when Concord's paying for fucking 6 different cities worth of kids, yeah, no shit, it's gonna fall apart. That's crazy. Like, we're always impacted. Like, what was it? They're saying like a teacher shouldn't have more than like 28 kids, and we always had like 40.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
32 at least.
Yeah, like it was just. So we did kind of see the effect of no budget, but yeah, I don't know if that was necessarily STAR testing's fault.
It just felt like gaslighting in a way, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, can you actually break down like why this is important to like you making money? You know,
well,
if you can't describe it, then it tells me that they can't. Like if the teachers can't describe why, then there's not really like knowledge behind why this gives us budget.
Yeah, and then also knowing that like you're giving these students a no pressure test and they know there's no pressure, then there's, in my opinion, there's no value in grading that test.
Right.
Because the kid didn't give a fuck. Right? Like it's, if you're gonna tell all these kids this test doesn't matter, it's not a grade, and then at the end of it go, this is how smart the city of Concord is. It's like, no, dude, like they didn't care. My goal when I took the STAR test was be one of the first ones done.
Yeah, and it's like I can't. It's like,
you know, like I didn't feel like I was insulting the teacher. I just wanted to get it the fuck over with.
Yeah, and it's like it's so weird. Like, why does a STAR test even exist? Like, is if we're gonna try and compare like academic smarts, you know, like there's a grading system. There's like what classes they're
kind of
part
already
of,
doing
you
it.
know, why do we need a STAR test? Like, there's already a grading system, and if your answer is to generalize it across the entire state, you know, then it's that kind of thing of, well, then that doesn't take into account schools that have higher advanced and lower advanced, you know, like courses and stuff, right? How do you set an average or a bar when there's no consistency among schools in California? You know, that doesn't make any sense either,
it doesn't.
right?
And
you
then
know,
the other thing I kind of noticed the other day, like it feels like they hid the SATs from us.
Yeah,
you had to find the SATs to take the SATs.
Really?
Like I feel like
I never took a SAT.
Exactly.
I skipped that shit altogether.
Exactly. Because it's not like there was a class, a meeting, a rally. It was like one piece of paper in a hallway that said like, oh, by the way, if you want to take your SATs, we'll you know, you could talk to somebody about it. It's like, what the fuck is this? I mean, when you watch movies, and not even just movies, when you listen to every generation older than us, it seemed like the SATs was a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like if you didn't take the SATs, that you weren't an adult. Like everybody knew their SAT score. Stupid, smart, successful, poor. Everybody knew their SAT score. Yeah, for us, like I know I didn't fucking take the SATs, the ACTs. I didn't even take the college entrance exam. I didn't know where it was.
I would definitely argue that from the years 2000 and up, SATs were a massive fucking scam for pretty much 90% of kids who took an SAT,
Yeah.
because a lot of the point of doing or getting an SAT high score, right, was to go to a very prestigious high, quality college, right, or university, whatever, right? And half those motherfuckers either didn't go to college, right, or they didn't get a full ride, which was what part of getting SAT high scores was to get, your shit paid for, right? And a lot of those motherfuckers also didn't get that, and then all on top of that, a lot of them changed their degree several times throughout the exploration of finding their degree in college, and then when they finally graduated, they didn't really end up in where they wanted to be in career-wise, and they ended up somewhere else entirely, right? I think there's I don't know the stats, I don't know for sure, but I feel like I have met a very, 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 very small amount of people that knew exactly what they were doing with SAT scores, knew exactly what colleges they were going to go to with a specific major, and saw all the way to the end, and are now working in that specific career. The SAT was supposed to be the fucking shuttled, like the bus to the high life of being a fucking careered person of status, right?
It's like, this is how you get into Harvard,
right?
The only way
business administration, scientists,
unless you're the president's son, the only way you're getting into Yale, is by
lawyers,
a super high score.
all this other shit, right? And it was supposed to be like a symbol thing because it was supposed to take you to the next stage of your life. Colleges became so fucked, and exactly 2000s and on, right? That it really didn't matter if you had a really good SAT score, like that was, you kind of became part of the lake or the ocean in a way,
and that's why, like, how many people do you know are using their actual college degree right now? I mean,
not very many.
Granted,
not very many.
Like I would say, like your wife did what she wanted to do with her education, and her friends did too. Outside of them, who's using their degree specifically, I don't really know too many. Like I know
teaching's kind of different too.
I know people with degrees. I know plenty of them. You know what I'm saying? Are they doing what the title on their degree was? Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? My manager, like, he, there's nobody better in my trade than him. His fucking degree's like in music studies.
Yeah.
The Shine. The Shine was in fucking music studies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had nothing to do with music. He was making dirty videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I don't know. I don't really know, I think, anybody who's like, I have a doctorate in this and this is what I do besides fucking doctors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know a dude who's a therapist who got a doctorate in it, and like, or not, therapist is a weird one because that's kind of specific, like doctors, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody who has a degree in mathematics and is doing some cool mathematics shit.
Sure.
I know people who have degrees in psychology that work at Starbucks. Like, that's cool.
I know more people who, because a lot of people will make the argument that IT is where most folks will go to then immediately get their job, right? But coming from, I've been working at an IT corporate company, one of the biggest ones in the world, for a long while now. And I have run into more people who started from the bottom and got certifications and climbed their way up through like actual job application stuff, then got their degree while in the career and then continued climbing, I've run into way more of them motherfuckers, and those are the motherfuckers who actually like are working their ass off and are running circles around the, people who just went to college expecting a handout, and that's the one thing that I have a problem with college. And a lot of kids who just kind of went in not realizing that, motherfucker, this is the time for you to figure out what it is that you're trying to do, because it's going to get real hard to try and figure that shit out when you're also trying to make ends meet. It's not going to work too well, right? So, and a lot of kids will end up not really discovering what it is where they want to go, and then they'll end up with either a degree they never really wanted to begin with, because the other option was to stay in college for X amount of years and spend more money into debt.
They get a fucking BA in literature.
Right, or maybe they had a passion in computer engineering, but it ended up being too hard, or they couldn't, make it work in 4 years, and they can't afford a 5th or 6th year in college because that means more debt, and they have to change rapidly to whatever degree, yada yada. There's just so many pitfalls.
Whatever they've got the most requirements filled with that they can obtain.
Right, dude, and there's just so many literal spike traps in college going now, and a lot of people don't really think about what it is that the degree is going to get them, what are the next steps afterwards. And what I really made sure I spent time on was I'm going to get this degree, but I need to be doing things that can stepping stone me way towards where I want to go. Because I went for film production, I went into film again, lots of artsy people get that degree and don't usually really use it right out the gate. I was one of the lucky ones that got to go into literally production right out the gate. Granted it's corporate events, but still production, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I got there was because I tried to draw a line was there's no fucking way I'm going to Hollywood and living in a car. I'm not that person. I'm also just not gonna roll the dice on just getting really fucking lucky and landing that gig that's gonna steamroll or domino effect into many others. That's just. I just felt that was stupid, right?
It's a fool's paradise.
Right, and it's sure, that works for some people, but for many others it doesn't, right? So I was like, what can I do that is parallel to production in some way? And that's how I landed on AV, which is IT world, but now audio video stuff, right? Conferencing solutions, all that shit, right? And it was one of those things where it's not production, but they use many of the same type of gear in different ways. The gear applies the lingo and how it's translated is just slightly different. That's it, right? So I was like, that makes sense. I can learn how to do that, get really good with that. And that can kind of be my rationale for getting into other smaller, low-level jobs in production, is that I kind of know my way around the audio video signal flow and infrastructure and all that shit, right?
Exactly.
So, and then just doing that, I met the right people, and that kind of catapulted me right into production where I wanted to be, right? Because I was constantly looking forward to the next few steps outside in front of me. Okay, I want to go there. Chances of me getting over there is really slim. What steps do I need to take? Okay, I can go here. Sick. And then all of a sudden, before I know it, I'm getting yanked over into the spot that I wanted to get to,
And it's crazy to think that you would be considered an outlier now when that's what everybody literally is going there to achieve. Everybody's going there to do what you did for the last 60 years. But because of the way the college system is now, it's actually weird that happened for you.
Yeah. Isn't that right?
It's actually strange that you got to do what you went to school for. Especially on that level. You know what I'm saying? When I worked at fucking Target, the requirement to be a head cashier was you had to have a degree. Who the fuck was getting a degree
to do that?
And I'll tell you what, plenty, because those positions were already full.
Dude.
So
what the fuck, bro?
Dude, I'll tell you even a weirder one.
It's so weird.
When I was a junior in high school, I was a camp counselor for a few days in the woods, and so they would put us juniors and seniors in a cabin full of fifth graders, right? So it was me and one other senior. We had 9 fifth graders to look after between the two of us, all dudes. And then, girls had their cabins and seniors. And there was a camp staff who essentially lived on the campground from spring through fall. And then in winter, campground shuts down. They go wherever the fuck they go. I don't know how much they make, you know what I'm saying? But for 3 months or so, they got to fuck off.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what they do, but I remember talking to the head guy there, and he said, the number one requirement was that you had to have a bachelor's degree to be a camp counselor there. And I'm just like, you guys have just been leading us on hiking trails and making cream cheese and jelly sandwiches because peanut butter kills homos.
Yeah, how do you need a degree for
why
this?
Did you need
why?
Yeah. One of them had a degree in medieval studies.
Oh.
The principal is the only one who made sense. He had a degree in botany, which okay, yeah, he likes plants and he's
Sure.
outside. I mean, I
Makes
guess
sense.
he's not planting anything
Yeah.
or tending to flowers.
Sure, but he knows
But he's
nature.
outside.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it was like blew my mind as a junior, being like, dude, if I took the time and money and gamble to have a degree,
Right.
and this is where I ended up,
Yeah, it
I'd
better
be
be fucking
pissed.
yeah, dude. It
Yeah,
better be
have got my
fucking worth it.
Forest ranger degree.
I better
like,
be
what the
getting
fuck?
50 an hour for this shit.
Oh
you know,
yeah, dude,
like
I can't even imagine they were making much.
yeah, no,
I guess they got room and board, so that's probably cool.
sure,
But it's a cabin, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's great room and board.
right.
Yeah, dude, like fucking.
I don't know, dude.
It's just such a weird one to like. You have to have a degree to have.
There's a
this
lot
job.
of skills that I feel like you really don't need
No,
a whole
I think-
lot of education to get
No.
to a high level.
I
you
think
know?
it's a symbol of patience and dedication at this point.
You know, I'd argue honestly, it's probably a old habit carried over from when bachelor's degrees were worth something,
yeah.
and our dollar and buying power was significantly higher. You know,
yeah.
because like a lot of those jobs were like, you've seen that shit where it's like bachelor's degree to do the cashier thing or XYZ, and it's not
Yeah.
really a high skill job, and it's like my mind goes like, it makes sense if it was like, several decades ago when the dollar was higher in value and like 20 an hour was good money,
Yeah.
and you needed to have an extra layer of responsibility because of XYZ, right? Like that makes sense. So like the bachelor's degree kind of feels like a tack on as a result of that kind of tendency.
Yeah.
Where very few people were bachelor's or degree holders and many were tradesmen,
Yeah.
Now today it's the opposite. There's very few tradesmen and there's
Yeah.
many degree holders,
which is great for me. Cause,
It's great for tradesmen across the board,
Yeah,
know.
because we were really taught like that if you were a tradesman, you were a fucking idiot.
Which
You
is
know
so
what I'm saying?
fucking wrong, dude.
We need infrastructure so bad. The
Like-
fact that became a trend blows my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, like money aside, because they make good money. A lot of them make good money depending on where they go,
I
dude.
make some. I know dudes who do what I do who make $140 an hour.
Well, yeah, then just climbing up
And then
beyond
they-
that,
and then they take home $90 an hour after benefits and
yeah,
taxes.
that's fucking crazy
after
good money,
bennies
dude.
and taxes,
That's
bringing
such
home
good
90
money.
an hour. Dude?
Yeah, dude.
Like, fuck. And they work.
Construction makes a fuck
A
ton
lot
of
of
money.
them work either 410s, or
Yep.
if you're in the union, I know dudes who work 6, sometimes 7 tens a week. Sometimes you
You're
work
the part of the pipe fitting union.
Yeah, sometimes in the union you actually do work multiple weeks straight without a day off, and you are making 10 hours a day.
Yeah, a lot of money though.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro. Like, even if you're just some low level fuckface in the union, you're making $35 an hour, which is still wonderful money. But you're making $35 an hour, great. But you're working 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
Halfway through your week, now you're actually realistically making 60 an hour, 58 if you want to be crazy about it. But like, you're making 60 an hour for at least 30 hours of your week. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy money.
Right.
And that's in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So then, yeah, you take these guys who are making, like 100 plus an hour, and you got them working fucking 80 hours a week for fucking 6 weeks straight. You are losing your body and your time with
Yeah,
your
it's
family.
hard. It's hard on you.
It does not come without.
That's not an understatement at all.
Yeah, no, it's not a free gig. But yeah, you can make a weird amount of money doing it. That's for sure. And a lot of it is because, everybody who's doing it was taught like, if you're doing this, you're a failure.
Yeah.
Like it's because
Yeah,
you
it's
couldn't cut
so
it.
fucking lame,
You
dude.
couldn't cut it in college, so you had to be a dumb old tradesman just banging
Yeah.
hammers.
Yeah.
Realistically, bro, I bet there's more tradesmen using geometry than college graduates.
Oh, there's probably more tradesmen using math, period, than
You know what
college
I'm saying?
graduates.
So it's like, fucking eat my dick, college graduates. We're
Yeah.
still using the shit.
Yeah, yeah. There's like,
I don't know shit about
there's
geometry.
so many motherfuckers that like have been told everything wrong about the trades. Like the trades are essential to our infrastructure, to our way of life. They get paid really fucking well. They usually have crazy good benefits. If you lose your job and you're part of the union, you'll get another one.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
And the union,
It's such a bummer to see so many of my friends doing so well in trades, and then so many other people like have like an apprehensive attitude towards. No, I can't do trades. It's X reason. You know.
Yeah.
Usually it's too hard. Is the reason.
It's fucking
you know.
pride too.
So yeah,
it's
but
that,
I think,
like I'm a failure because I'm doing a trade, like silly bitches. But
sure, but I also think it's just laziness and like it's too hard. It's hard on the body.
It's fucking hard, dude. Like
So,
I was talking to a guy the other day in tech support, and me and him were just we were stuck on a problem together for a while, so we kind of became buddies at one point because it's what it is, dude. Like we're gonna be
you're in the trenches.
Yeah. So I'm talking to him because he was a tech support. And he's only like 28. Right, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, so how did you get into tech support so fast?" And he's like, "Well, I did a couple of years on the field, and then I started talking to all the guys that were like the higher ups, and the older guys, and like the things that they regretted the most was the damage they did to their bodies and the time they didn't spend with their families. So I knew I needed to get the fuck off of the field because he loves HVAC, but he doesn't want to, be destroyed and bitter.
Yeah.
And there was still good money to make, without doing that. And like, I think that's what people don't get. It's just like, yes, somebody's got to hold the hammer. There's a whole operation going there, dude.
Well, yeah.
But you got to hold that hammer if you want to join it. You know what I'm saying? You can hold that fucking hammer and bounce it off your thumb 1,000 times. But if you want to be the foreman, you're not doing that without doing that first. You know what I'm saying? There's no coming off of a college job and being the foreman on a construction site. No. Because you're going to get people killed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why engineers draw the blueprints, but they could be told to fuck off because they don't always know. It's like you don't know what obstacles and unforeseen things could happen and have to be worked around. And
sure,
just because you're the engineer that designed it, you didn't design it for this part, so now we have to figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, but my point is like these people are so apprehensive about trades. They don't even understand. Like, you can be weak. You know what I'm saying? You could not be good at it. Stick with it. You'll get better at it. And then eventually there's probably a way for you to get off the field if you don't want to be on there.
Yeah.
But still be in that trade and making good money.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think people are just so fucking... It's silly, and at the same time, I'm so glad that I'm on the right side of it. You know, because I got expelled from college and kind of noticed that it was a scam I didn't want to be part of. Like, I was saying it when we were 18, like, that this felt like a gamble.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I didn't come from shit. Nobody in my family did shit except for my uncle, and, like, he was kind of an outlier, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was clearly smarter than everybody. And not even in, like, a shitty way. Like, it's just like when I talk to my Uncle Tom, I just know, you know what I'm saying? He's on a different plane than everybody else. All of his brothers and sisters. But... So it's just like, you know, for me, college was like, dude, I'm on my own. I'm already working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, between Target, the hookah bar, and doing security on the side. And I was trying to balance a full-time schedule and pay all these fucking bills. And, like, I just was just like, I don't know why I'm going to try to take this $200,000 gamble when I don't even fucking believe in myself in this system.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hardly surviving now. I can't imagine trying to take on
debt,
a life's worth of debt. Yeah, like, so I'm kind of glad that I was in that wave that kind of saw the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I'm glad that you're part of the wave that somehow made it work, right? Like, we're both on the right side of that. Neither of us went to college and got a degree that we're not using, or have a degree in doing some job that has nothing to do with that we hate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so we kind of won in that sense. And then I feel lucky to be in the trades at a time when there's such demand.
Right. Yes.
Right? Like, I'm not a tradesman 30 years ago. Like, I'm a tradesman right now when it's short.
Yes.
And they're paying.
Yeah, and they need you.
Yeah, they need you. Like, same thing with the military. Like, why would you join the military right now?
There's no fucking reason to.
Yeah, it used to be for citizenship and to go to college. Who the fuck wants to go to college anymore? Like, I'm not going to waste my GI Bill, get shot at to go to fucking... get some criminology degree and go be a waiter.
Yeah, you know, there's also, that's a whole generation, like, cultural thing, too.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of them were patriotic bumpers, you know? Like, just, like, would do anything for the country, like, oh, America, this, that, the other, you know? Like, And the current world is like, no, I'm not gonna go die for you.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like,
Well,
are you an idiot? You know,
a lot of people too in like the center of the country. That was actually their version of career hunting. That's how you got your shit together and got a job, was by joining the military. Because it wasn't always just like stand in line and shoot. There's mechanics, there's cooks, there's techs, the radar techs, and nurses and everything, right? So like, for some people, it was just where to go if you had no direction.
Sure.
But now it's just like, man, is it worth it? Like, it seems like it doesn't seem worth it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, one, I mean, if I had at this point in my life, if I had a GI Bill, I'd hope that I have a kid to give it to, because I'm not going to fucking use it.
Yeah.
And two, like, war seems a lot scarier than it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's always been scary. I'm not that kind of asshole.
Sure.
But, like, now it seems like all of us dying in one blast versus lining up shoulder to shoulder and who's going to get hit by the musket ball. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It seems like a lot more total destruction.
Yeah, there's a lot more Terminator vibes. Nowadays.
I'm not trying to fuck with that at all.
The tanks that we use are different. The bombs we use are different.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
But an interesting thing, though, is like, so now that, we've talked about trades needing people paying high, colleges being kind of flooded, you have all these people in the middle. So now we have fucking $20 minimum wage for fast food.
Yeah.
So we've taken the middle people and we've boosted them up too. So what does that mean? Everything's gonna be more expensive.
Yeah,
the cost of fast food overnight went up significantly.
Yeah.
Starbucks is like twice as much now.
Mm-hmm.
In-N-Out raised like I think 30 cents to every single item.
Yep.
And we're just gonna keep seeing that more and more and more and more. I don't understand where the lack of knowledge of history is right now in this country. Of like, did we not learn anything from Russia in World War One?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where a wheelbarrow was worth more than the money in it.
Yeah.
Have we never learned anything from all of this printing money with nothing to back it up bullshit? That every single time, obviously, everything else has to become expensive. Why would it not?
Yeah.
If milk is $5 when you make 10, yes, it's going to be 10 when you make 20.
Yeah.
Like it's you're the same kind of poor, but now what you're doing is you're bringing that you're actually bringing skilled jobs down, right? Because, like, I'm sorry, but a tradesman and a fast food worker shouldn't be this close in pay.
No.
They shouldn't be, because then why would you be a tradesman? Why would you be a doctor? Fuck me, dude. You can go make fucking $40,000 a year, which is pretty much enough anywhere but here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To live a decent life.
You think you like need 90 and up here to live comfortably?
Yeah. I mean,
comfortably.
you get two partners that work full-time minimum fast food. I'm sure you could survive. You know what I'm saying? You can have an apartment and all that, kids. Like, I don't know. I think it's similar to when you give homeless people too much. I think what happens is that you start to spite the people who are actually working and trying, right? Like let's say you go to San Francisco, right? And you're just like, I don't want to participate. I don't feel like getting a job. Fuck the man. Fuck my parents. I like drugs in the tent. Well, then, okay, we're going to give you $1,200 a month for Social Security. We'll give you another $400 for food stamps. Here's your phone. Here's your safe sleeping area. You like drugs? Here's your free stuff for your drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you need anything else? Because we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And then you got some poor dickhead who's working minimum wage, who's bringing in $1,600 a month, about the same as that fucking SSI and food stamps gives you. He's paying for his phone. He's paying for the Wi-Fi to watch that Netflix. You know what I'm saying? He's almost doing about the same as the homeless guy. Why should he give a fuck and try?
Yeah.
Why not just be homeless?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty much the same, whether or not
it's
you
too
got
close.
it's so I think, like, similar to this, like, when you bring up the minimum wage for entry level jobs that are supposed to be stepping stones, you devalue those higher paying skilled jobs because they're not compensating. right? Your job that pays you $35 an hour doesn't look at McDonald's going up to $20 an hour and say, well, I need to adjust and give all my guys another $5.
Right.
They go, well, you're still making 35. It's not that, right? So, yeah, it doesn't work for everybody. And the people who are actually trying are the ones that are getting fucked. And the people who are trying the least are the ones that are thriving. And, we're just promoting not giving a fuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, it band-aids the actual problem, which is the value of the American dollar,
Yeah.
Like, if the American dollar's value had more buying power, like we just discussed earlier, there would be no reason to raise the minimum wage,
Exactly.
And the hierarchy kind of stays there, right? That natural ladder, so people can kind of climb it up as needed.
Yeah.
Minimum wage jobs become stepping stone jobs, like you said, as they should be.
They should be,
know,
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
sure.
that's what they're there for, is to introduce people into the workforce.
But then comes the big problem is the capitalism as a whole, as the reactionary process to minimum wage going up and what happens to all the companies around the world, including the people who own land, They the people who own land raise property values, what were they charging Starbucks on the lot that they're on. Then Starbucks has to raise their rates, and then so on and so forth.
Gas goes up, so now the trucks are going to charge Starbucks for that, and then the price of almond milk goes up, so they're going to charge Starbucks for that, and of course that's all going to reflect back on your cup.
Yeah.
And
It's just a
just
domino
makes it worse
effect,
and worse and worse. Yeah.
Right, and then there's not even including just the dollar value as a whole, but also the corruption that happens in a lot of other companies that just kind of cut corners. I'll call Starbucks out right now, but when I worked there X amount of years ago, they pulled a fucking stunt where I think it was 32 hours or so you could you qualify for full benefits.
Full
right?
time, yeah.
Yeah. They raised the hourly rate. I can't remember what it was to. It was either 35 or a full 40. I can't remember what it was, right?
Oh.
But they raised the time in which to be FTE, full-time employee, and then cut everyone's hours at a lot of stores,
Yeah, so they made it to where nobody could reach it.
So hella people couldn't qualify,
Yeah.
which was hella fucked up because there's a lot of people at the time. Again, shit happens, life is life, but there's people who have kids that are adults that are banking on those benefits, that had qualified before, now no longer qualify, That was hella fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that was when they were swapping CEOs. That happened once or twice, I think, when I worked there.
Target.
But,
Target,
dude,
when I
it's
worked
so
there,
fucking shady.
When I worked at Target, they never gave anybody over 4.5 hours for a shift.
Yeah.
And that way you never had to take a lunch, and you can never work full time.
Yeah.
You work 7 days a week, and that's 28 hours.
Get around benefits and shit.
So they figured, they're
They're so greedy.
dirty fucks. But and at the same time, I get it. It's impossible to live here, right? Let's say you make 20 an hour. That's the minimum wage now, right? So that's $800 a week before taxes, $3,200 a month after taxes. Now that $800, you're probably gonna see $650, realistically after taxes. So let's say $2,600 a month right now. The cheapest, shittiest apartment in our city is about $1,800 right now, if you're lucky. So they're making after taxes, 26, and their rent's 18 to live in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Right. So you have $800 a month. Well, what's that going to go to? Well, a phone is about $100, unfortunately. So there's that.
Gas.
You're gonna have
week.
some utilities.
Yep.
So if you're in an apartment, I heard they're pretty lax on utilities. Let's give it another 100. Right. So now we're
Probably
down
more 150, honestly.
Yeah. So now we're down to $600 for the month to survive on. Gas, if you got to go to work and it doesn't pay for gas. Oh man, food. How much do you eat in a week?
Yeah.
Right, because it's almost $100 for a bag of groceries now. No matter what you're buying.
That's if you're really cutting it down to this is what you're not snacking.
No.
You're not nibbling.
This is lunch meats
no
and
little
fucking essentials.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you are eating like you live in a dorm. You know?
Exactly. And if you make 20 an hour, they're not going to give you food stamps. So it's at the end of the day, if you're a minimum wage worker, you can afford to live here, but you'll never progress. You'll always net zero. Every paycheck you have,
Yep.
you're gonna have $4 the day before you cash.
What's that
you know?
phrase? Keep the poor poor and the rich rich, right?
Exactly. And it's just
know?
like for all these people who think this is the answer, it's not. You want to know why? Because we jacked it up to 20. That's
Yeah.
great. You know what? Rent now the cheapest place in Concord is going to be 24.
Yeah.
You know,
It's gonna domino effect.
It's gonna everything has to adjust.
Yeah.
So. You know why? Because now that landlord who owns that building has more shit he has to pay for, so he's going to charge more rent. And,
Yeah. Well, I
and then
mean,
it's gonna
the
be the
value might
same-
just be higher in general.
Exactly.
You know?
And this unobtainable bullshit
Mm-hmm.
is just it's almost like they're running parallel together, like the minimum wage rising and the rise of everything else, and minimum wage is never going to catch up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It won't. There's never going to be a time in this part of California where you get to work full-time minimum wage and have a fucking house.
Yeah. I think the only time that it'll catch up, and it'll be brief before everything resets,
Yeah.
is when things get so expensive to the point where
Mass
people
exodus.
can't really buy shit anymore,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And I think once companies start getting like a annual like loss,
Yeah.
that's when things will probably start changing,
Yeah.
because they have to drop their price values at some point if they are taking a quarter by quarter, year by year loss. You know, they have to adjust so they can make some money.
Now with that though, federally, minimum wage is like $7.
Yeah.
So if that does happen, does that mean that these fast food places can now be like, all right, we're going back down to like 15 an hour? Like this is getting crazy.
Probably depends on the state.
Yeah,
At least in
okay.
California, they probably could drop it down
Yeah.
if things were getting too wild,
Yeah,
as far as like no one's buying shit of anything because everything's too expensive. Like
Yeah, or
there's
we
that
don't have
there's
doctors 'cause
that
they're all
equation
like
with
adults.
inflation. I forget the inverse of that.
Yeah.
But there is like some actual equation for if things start not being affordable and people stop spending money, that the circulation of money will rotate and inverse at one point. But
Yeah, I think the city of Oakland had their first drop in rent prices in like over a decade.
yeah.
And it was incredibly small, and it didn't really last long.
Yeah. It's probably going to be a lot of up and down, and it'll
Yeah.
climb throughout
Yeah.
the up and down. But at one point, it'll probably start dropping. Not big, massive drops, but it'll probably start doing chunks.
Yeah,
You know?
because people are always ready for the drop, so it kind of makes it to where it can never drop too far. Like the housing market, right? Like everybody always talks about how they're waiting for the bubble to burst, but that also means as soon as that bubble bursts, everybody's going to be there to make sure it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like if we're all waiting for the day,
Correct.
then
It's
we're
the
all
wrong
going to be
mentality,
Yeah,
What
so-
you should be looking for is for the interest rates to burst.
Yeah.
That's where you actually need to hop in.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like we're all just kind of standing at the door, being like, "And now," and it's like, okay, well then it's not on sale anymore, bitch.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have the demand. Why shouldn't I name my price for my supply?
Right.
Right? Like,
Right.
Why not? You want it. You're here for it, bitch. This is what you're gonna give me for it, and then we're gonna go. Damn it! Yes, here you go.
You got me.
Here you go.
Fuck.
I'll work most of my life for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Not a place I fucking don't even want to be. Like
Yeah.
most people. I'm lucky, just like you, I do actually like my job and career. Most fucking people do not.
Yeah, I count my blessings all the fucking
Holy
time, dude.
shit, the amount of people that do not like their
They're
job.
just like literally torn up
Yeah.
by the
Well,
fact that they don't like their job.
not only that,
you know?
can't afford a new one. Like that was this weird anomaly that was happening when I was at Gergen Spoils.
Yeah, I remember us talking about this.
Yeah, you can't afford a new job because you can't afford the time between paychecks.
Yeah.
Right? Like your budget is so
Tight.
tight that the thought of maybe a 1 week gap or two, just one really, is enough to be like my whole life will fall apart.
Which is fucking
So
crazy, dude.
So I can't leave my 15 an hour job for a 28 an hour job because maybe I'll miss this check. It's like, okay, your brain's locked somewhere in this. Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't make any fucking sense. Go
Yeah.
get that goddamn job.
yeah.
You know, owe somebody some money for a week, dude. Like, figure it the fuck out.
Don't eat
You know
for
what
as
I'm
long
saying?
as you can or
Yeah,
something.
You know, they don't miss. It's. I don't know. I think it's unfortunate. Is
Sure.
what it is.
I mean, the
it's an
examples-
unfortunate mindset.
Well, the examples we were given were sure like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Obviously everyone needs to eat, but like there is like a level of I've gone so far into the hole that I can't dig out,
Yeah.
And then what comes with that is the just kind of conscious decision to not look for a way out anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
That,
and I think that's the poor trap. You know,
I think that some people confuse greatly luxuries with essentials, right?
oh sure,
Spotify,
oh, for fucking sure.
Spotify's not an
No.
essential.
No,
I don't care.
no
if you,
streaming platform. Period
I
is
don't
an
care
essential.
how much you love music.
Mhm.
It's not essential.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
You don't need
there's-
Netflix.
If
you
there's a
don't
way to
need
get it for
HBO.
free, there is. So it's not essential.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like people who have to use like $100 skin products,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, this one little lotion's $100 and it lasts like fucking 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not essential.
People
Like,
who eat more than they really need to every day.
Yeah,
You know,
you
like
know,
that's
there's
a
gluttony.
waste
Yeah,
there
yeah.
too.
There's-
That's
there's-
an American thing, brother.
Dude, I fucking eat sometimes and there's still food in that goddamn bag that I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Like-
yeah. I've done
like,
that.
it's just like,
I am fucking
I thought I
notorious
wanted
for that, dude.
I thought I
Yeah.
wanted it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
Fuck
I've
it.
thrown away food that I
Yeah,
thought I was
well,
gonna eat
Yeah.
quite
I'm not
quite
putting
often.
It, I'm not putting it in the fridge either. You think a McDouble?
And I
you
always
think
feel
a
bad.
McDouble's gonna hold overnight in the fridge?
Fuck no.
Fuck
It's
no.
McDonald's,
It's
dude.
gonna come
what the
back
fuck?
a different color the
Yeah,
next day.
yeah, dude.
Sentient.
You ever had fries
Comes back
after
Burger
like
King.
5 minutes of them cooling down?
It's
They're-
over.
They're
It's-
erasers.
yeah.
You know?
Same thing
Like-
with the Nuggets, dude. Like, they're just, it's done.
yeah, dude.
Throw them away.
I always feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Because
Because it is a shit move.
Oh yeah,
Right?
100%.
Like, there's
you're
people
literally
starving.
throwing
Like,
money away,
and you're
you know?
throwing money away.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I like how you went that way and I went the other way.
Because there's really people who just don't have fucking
yeah.
money for food.
Yeah, that
But
are
yeah,
really
that's-
just dying.
But also,
you know?
you are just being like that. That's like an extra $7.
Yeah.
That I just
Yeah.
didn't need to spend.
Yeah, 2 McDoubles and a fry or something after
Yeah.
because your fat ass thought you were gonna eat 2 whole extra meals. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna get 2 burgers and a fry, and then I'm gonna get another 2 burgers and a fry. But
Yeah.
these are gonna be McChickens, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fucking milkshake and a large drink, and you get through
Yeah.
half of that, and you throw away the other half, and you're like, that was $7. Fuck! How many times did I do that? you know, and
Yeah,
like,
then you start looking at
oh
your bank
man,
account and going,
bro.
like, fuck, how many times am I actually doing that?
I
Like,
honestly think a lot of people should, if you don't already, this is advice from your boy to your homie, the listener. I want to say your boy also because like you are probably not females, but regardless, tally up your fucking spending.
yeah.
Just do a week, and if you can, a month of religiously tallying up all of your spending,
blow your fucking
and then
mind.
fucking stare at that number
It'll
at
blow
the
your
end,
mind.
dude. Oh, bro, it was enough for me to cut a lot of shit out. You
dude,
know,
when I noticed that my cost of living was about a third of my income and I always had no money,
yeah.
I was like, where the fuck?
How?
How?
And you always find when you don't
And
see
it's
the
gone.
numbers,
Yeah.
when you don't see the numbers broken
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
you find some way to convince yourself of how you just don't have enough money,
Yeah.
or you just had an extra bill this month or something.
Yeah,
you
or
know,
something,
until it is sparsed out right
Dude,
in front of you, dude.
the
it
thing
is.
that-
Oh my god.
The thing that made me immediately halt on microtransactions in video games was luckily my phone
yeah.
at the end of the month was like, this is what you spent this month. And I went,
You just scroll through it.
oh, no. Never
your
again.
heart just sank through your ass, dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
bro.
Like, I did
Oh,
that. I
man.
did that?
Yeah.
No.
Me? No.
Damn it.
Me?
Delete
Fuck,
it now.
dude. Yeah, yeah.
I literally went.
The
like,
better version of yourself is like floating above
Yeah.
you, just shaking your head. You
I
know,
literally-
like you son of a bitch.
I hit the home button and uninstalled that fucking app.
yeah,
immediately.
bro.
I didn't care.
Yeah, dude.
And the fucked up part was I loved that game, but nope. I would have just kept spending money because I loved that fucking. Nope. It had to
Mm-hmm. Yep.
go. It
For
had
me,
to go.
it was DoorDash and marijuana spendings. You know,
Oh.
I've cut DoorDash almost completely out. I still
Yeah.
DoorDash every now and then, but I've almost completely cut that out entirely.
Yeah.
and that's a lot of money.
Dash
dude.
Pass saves
You
a
know,
lot of money. That's
well,
for sure.
dude, like you go to McDonald's to get like a regular meal and a milkshake, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe an extra large fry, right? And normally that's like what, like $20,
Yeah, I
maybe
do.
max, right? Go through DoorDash, that's $50 fucking right there, bro.
Yeah,
Like holy shit!
I do 4 McDoubles and a large Coke. That's
Yeah.
my McDonald's order right there.
That sounds
For the
actually
most-
fire.
Yeah, no fries, no nothing. Just
I get an extra American cheese and some extra ketchup and mustard on mine.
that's beautiful.
Sometimes some Big Mac sauce.
I was about to say mac sauce.
Yeah.
Lube.
lube.
Yeah, like 4 McDoubles and a large Coke's like $10,
can
$11,
just choke
something
it
like
down,
that.
bro.
But then if you go on DoorDash,
Yeah.
there's no coupon, so that's more actually like a McDouble's like fucking $5 now. So.
Like legit, dude. Like I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
Also, what happened there?
Because I admittedly bought McDonald's DoorDash while I was working from home this week.
Yeah.
And I believe the order for 2 McDoubles. No, the number where it's the 2 single cheeseburgers, a large fry, a large Coke, an extra McChicken, and a large fry.
Yeah.
I believe the whole total for delivery and a decent tip was about $50 fucking.
Yeah,
dude.
and realistically, that's like 17.
Like 20 max.
Yeah, tops.
Including the gas to get there and back.
Did you notice how strangely expensive McDonald's got compared to all of its competitors?
Yeah,
because
they had subtle raises in prices too.
Yeah, because when I was 25, when I lost all that weight. The last time I went on my 25th birthday, I went to McDonald's. Because at this point, like I was down maybe 60 pounds. I hadn't had any fast food in a while. It was my birthday. I got a Big Mac and a double quarter pounder. No fries. Literally entree, bro. Fucking Big Mac, double quarter pounder. I'm not fucking around today.
Okay.
And I stayed up all night with just the worst stomach pains and liquid shit.
Dude, I've had that.
To where I abandoned McDonald's, I would say up to about 6 months ago. Now I've been going back to McDonald's, which I shouldn't be, but fuck me. I started going back, and I'm like, when did everything get so crazy expensive here? Like, when I was 25, I'm pretty sure the Big Macs were still, not Big Macs, the value menu was still $1. It was still $1 McChickens and $1 McDoubles.
Yeah.
Now they do buy one, get one for $1. But those motherfuckers are like $5 on their own now.
2015 McDonald's prices.
Yeah, 2015.
Let's see here.
I was slopping down on some McDonald's in 2015. I swear it was significantly cheaper. Like I said, now they have like the BOGO, so they kind of knock some money off of it. But if you want one McDouble, it's like, holy shit, it's like $5 compared to $1 now. And I'm a fat fuck.
From fat, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So, not 2015, but 2001 is what I have here, right?
Oh, back when they had the Big and Tasty on the menu.
Oh, yeah, dude. So, 2001, let's see, Big Mac was $2.29. A 2020, which was, again, 4 years ago, was $4.59. It's gone up $2.30.
That's not bad.
Quarter pounder, $2.29. Quarter pounder is $4.99. Went up $2.70. So it looks like cheeseburger went up about $1. Cheeseburgers used to be 99 cents, and they're now $1.59, almost $2. Let's see. The McChicken went up by $2.60. Yeah, pretty much everything went up in prices about 110% extra comparatively.
Well, that's crazy.
So it's definitely increased quite a bit over time.
Yeah.
And it might have even increased again in this past 12 months.
I was about to say, I think it's gone up even more because everything has been. And I think they're partnering because they just opened up that other weird McDonald's dessert place, and then they've also partnered with Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to be able to start buying Krispy Kreme donuts at McDonald's now or something like that. They're a fucking powerhouse. Jesus Christ,
I'm not surprised, honestly.
And then they own all the land that they're on.
Yep.
So they're just like the most successful company that's ever fucking been.
You know what's wild too is so there's the Egg McMuffin and the Sausage Egg McMuffin back in 2001 used to be $1 at one point.
Hell yeah.
So you can get out the. You remember that shit?
Hell yeah, dude. I used to eat the sausage McMuffins for $1.
That shit is now $4.29.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there was a small gap where I left, but
yeah,
it felt significant when I started seeing the prices again.
Oh yeah, it 100% has become an issue as crossed as wow, words. It's a late night, folks.
Yeah.
As far as like McDonald's, increasing their prices compared to everybody else, they've definitely been climbing. But I also have seen Burger King, Jack in the Box, like everybody else has been slowly kind of taking up their prices over time.
El Pollo Loco makes it like almost impossible not to hit $20 like immediately now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want more than one thing, you're almost looking at $30 now. It's kind of getting crazy.
They want you to get one meal and that's it, like a meal combo, and then get the fuck out.
Yeah, which is probably what they should, all of us should be doing. But
yeah.
No, all right. I work hard for my money. And
I'm an American. I want to spend it how I want,
dude. But like they're starting to get pretty crazy too. Like a Baja shrimp taco or something.
Yeah,
like one of those is like $6. And it's like, All right, now this is a taco. All right, this is not. You guys didn't invent the wheel here.
No.
It's a taco. It's about the least amount of food you can have in one fucking item.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's not make these hamburger prices. All right.
They're about to be though.
They are. They're getting there already. Like,
Pretty
I
much.
think that chicken avocado taco that I love so much is like $5 for a taco.
Yeah, no thanks.
They're good, but fuck it, that's not worth it. $5 for a taco is not fucking no.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, I'm sorry, but I grew up in the Bay Area. You know what tacos cost? $1.
They used to.
You know,
Not anymore.
On Tuesdays, they still do sometimes.
Sometimes if you go to like, an actual Mexican spot,
Oh yeah.
You know.
Dude, I was off like 2 or 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday.
Yeah. On a Tuesday.
And I went on DoorDash, and this Mexican place actually was honoring Taco Tuesday on DoorDash.
Fuck yeah.
Where I got like 12 tacos.
Okay.
Because the minimum, you gotta get.
They're like, fuck.
If you have the Dash Pass or whatever, like you have to order like $13 to get free delivery.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna not spend $13 and then spend like $8 for a delivery fee. Fuck that! I'm getting $8 more worth of tacos. So I just kept hitting taco until I had the right number.
Taco. Yeah.
Done. No tip. Fuck you.
You're one of those assholes.
I am. Fuck DoorDash.
Oh my god.
You know what? I stand proud not tipping DoorDash people
Why?
because, all right. I got a few reasons. One, they had nothing to do with your food. If you get like a pizza delivered, that driver might have boxed your food. They might have helped make your order. At the end of the night, they're doing dishes and sweeping. Like the drivers make a lot more money, therefore they have to be part of the team. You know, otherwise, why the fuck would anybody just be making pizza?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to fucking make all the pizza and do all the dishes and watch this asshole leave with 4 times as much as you? No, go get a car. So, the drivers, they do participate, right? Not DoorDash drivers, obviously. They have nothing to do with your food.
You're right.
They didn't make it. They're not part of that team. You're not helping that restaurant.
They're
with
just the
them.
middleman.
Yeah, and then the other thing is that they started allowing them to take doubles and triples. And there's no, like, they started letting you, okay, so you ever see, like, you could pay for Express for $2 or $3. That means that they won't take a double or a triple, or if they do, that you're first.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so, I mean, I had one time where I got fucking Hawaiian barbecue, and the guy went to Oakland first.
Oh.
He got the Hawaiian barbecue, and then went to Oakland.
So it sat in his car for
an
hour and a half?
Easily, yeah, and then he delivered to the other guy in Oakland. Then he came back to Concord to deliver me.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, I'm never tipping you bastards again.
No, fuck that.
And then I've gotten, like, with Bubbles, like, get Taco Bell DoorDash delayed at night, and he's going, like, 3 places first.
Yeah.
I'm like, my food's going to be gross by the time we get here.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, buddy, you missed out. You wanted to be greedy.
And it's like before DoorDash, there was no delivery for food. I mean, there was Grubhub, sort of.
There was places that delivered food, but that was it, right? Chinese, pizza. That was usually
I don't even care to name any places around here, at least, that delivered Chinese.
Oh, Chinese Kitchen.
Oh, I never ordered from them before.
Yeah, we still get delivery from them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Chinese is different because he'll usually just be like the owner, right? Like he'll just use his own car. Like they're not gonna have like some decaled out, thing. Like it's like a dude in a
Chinese
Corolla.
kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just shows up with a bag and a paper receipt. But
there you go.
Yeah, other than that, like, yeah, it's just pizza. Like I guess.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else that would have delivered to
tipping culture thing is tough because with DoorDash it's new, right? Like DoorDash has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But it's still new in the grand scheme of like tipping delivery drivers, like pizza, like it's to your point, pizza men and women have been around for a long time, and there's other delivery like places, right? And that is kind of a given, right?
Yeah.
But DoorDash is a different animal, and they get paid pretty well.
Yeah.
From what I know is, whereas at least from your time at Gurgen Spoigels, the tips were part of your pay?
So we got minimum.
Yeah.
And then $1.25 per delivery for gas. And then tips was just yours. So we didn't split them with anybody. And like the tips are important because Otherwise, that would be a really hard job to do for minimum wage.
Because of gas and stuff.
Not only
right?
gas, but like oil changes, transmission
Car
services,
maintenance in general.
a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you lose your car? You
Mm-hmm.
know, or what if, heaven forbid, just something stops working, your transmission blows. Right? You're not going to make any money until you fix that fucking thing,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're looking at a $3,000-$4,000 bill,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not getting that in your $125 per delivery. You know,
Sure.
That's going to have to come from your own responsibility of saving your tips. So,
Don't you think DoorDash folks have that same kind of limitation, though?
Yeah.
Because they're using their vehicle.
of course, but I also think they're not doing nearly the work as the pizza boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, the pizza boy is part of that team. You know, he's got to, you know, there's no pizza guys that aren't like folding boxes, helping make food, sweeping, cleaning the fucking shop, like they're all, you know, they are part of that store. DoorDash, that guy just has to fucking ride around, and you know, like he does got to pay for a car. A lot of the times there's like 2 or 3 fucking people in the car. It's not even the person that like his name is on it. It says Muhammad. It's like a black chick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't trust them. I think they're making enough. I'll give them like a minimum, right? Like if the smallest tip is like $5.50, I'll hit other and give them like 4 or 3. So I don't trust them. Plus the other thing is if you are taking multiples, then 3 threes is fine. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna make 9. You made a decent tip.
Also, just like, why the fuck is that even an option? You know,
To take multiples?
that seems like a DoorDash greed kind of thing.
Well, that's
you know?
that's kind of how I saw it. It was like, cause you know, like it's just greedy. It's just another way to do this. The other thing,
like
is,
from the company side,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
driver's side, from the company side.
yeah. The other thing that you got to kind of keep into perspective is with like these tipping these drivers and stuff is when you order from a pizza place, that pizza place is in your delivery area.
Mm-hmm.
DoorDash is anywhere
Right.
you ordered it from.
Right.
So your guy might pick it up in a different city,
Mm-hmm.
and his double might not even be in the same city as you, right? Like one time I saw Shake Shack was on DoorDash, and I was like, "Where the fuck is a Shake Shack?" Right? Like I thought that was like an LA thing.
Yeah.
So I went there together. I put together the order. It's South Walnut Creek, about a city away. He goes to Martinez, so he passes our city from a different city to deliver to somebody else in a third city, right? And then comes to me because typically you probably would want to go the further one first to get closer to home. As
I
you
wonder
move.
if it's based off of order time too. Like if
It could
they
be.
ordered first, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though it would make more sense to drop it off at you first on the way to that.
Yeah.
But because it's a queue system, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
probably what it is.
Yeah,
'cause
but your
fuck
pizza's never leaving the city.
that. Yeah.
You know
right.
what I'm saying? It's down the
right.
street. Even if he's taking a double, it's routed to where that other one's probably right next to your house.
Yeah, I think that's the thing
know,
that
like,
DoorDash
we
itself
weren't-
needs to fix for fucking
Yeah,
sure.
like
you
Concord's big, but we
Mm-hmm.
weren't doing shit like, you know, quadrant 1 and quadrant 4 can go together as a double like DoorDash will do. Like,
No.
no, it only works if you're near each other. Otherwise, you don't do that because it ruins the food. And if
Right.
you ruin the food, well, then you ruin the experience. And everybody else is making $10 pizza. What's going to stand you aside?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know. I just think that these DoorDash people, like, the doubles got greedy. They can take triples. I've been part of a triple. I've been the third stop before. And then, yeah, the fact that, like, there's no honesty behind it. You really never know who you're going to get.
Yeah.
And that they're not, they deserve tips, but I don't think they deserve pizza boy tips.
Sure.
So whereas a pizza boy from me is going to get a minimum of 5 no matter what. Minimum is 5. DoorDash guy, I don't feel bad giving him like $2. I really don't. I think that they're paying pretty decent per delivery. And he, you know, he's not putting in like that pizza boy did.
Sure. Yeah, that makes
pizza
sense.
boy fucking put on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was you know, that's work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, you know, because I was the midnight. I was the closer guy.
Yeah.
So I would come home at 3 a.m, soaking wet
Mm-hmm.
from doing an hour and a half's worth of dishes. Like, I worked at one of the busiest, not only pizza franchises in the world, but specifically the busiest location in the fucking state. Right? Like, Concord just kind of happened to be this massive city that only had one.
Yeah.
Every other city the size of Concord would have multiple, right? Like you never You wouldn't see one round table in San Francisco. You'd see like 8, right? Because they've got a big fucking quadrant to handle. But Concord was just weirdly, they had one. Round table as the example, there was 4 in Concord at one point.
Yeah.
To divide the city. My company, who's the biggest company in the world, 1. Big fucking quadrant space, So I think like it was a little luckier with that. But no, my point was we did a lot of fucking business, right? And that's why I made a lot of fucking money. That's why I was able to make over $3,000 a month, working 4 days a week, just delivering pizza because it was fucking busy. But 2 a.m. comes along, you've had a very fucking busy day. That means there's busy day dishes, bro. They make those pan pizzas that everybody loves so much. You know how annoying those are to fucking clean?
I bet a nightmare.
Because you put pump butter. It's gross. You put this fake pump butter. You hit it one time, and then you put this nasty plastic little brush that never gets cleaned until the end of the night. They just use the same one all day. So, like, the handle's like 15 different fucking shades of gross.
Ugh.
From the guy who's stretching the pizza, getting dough hand all over it and stuff. And it's so nasty. But then you cover the thing in butter, and then you press the dough into it, and when it comes out, it's not like all the butter leaves the pan, right? So what does it do? It sits in it and congeals in it.
Yeah.
From 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. And you've got about 113 of those, right? Not only do you have those, all the other dishes, the little tubs that the fucking toppings go in, the actual make line itself where they're making the pizzas, all that shit, the ladles, the bottles, the fucking everything, bro. And like, me doing that for almost a decade quickly would still take an hour and a half on a busy night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What DoorDash guy's putting up with that shit?
Nah,
Right?
none of them.
Yeah, so fuck them. They're not getting the same tip, dude.
Case in point, fair. Fair point for
And
sure.
I think we're way over. I don't know. I feel like we did it.
Let's see. Oh, shit.
Oh, not way over.
We're
But
not way over, but I was like, do we have enough time for a topic? Nope.
No, and I still got
We don't.
I left this on a cliffhanger, and we never got back to it, so I'm going to leave it on us again.
Well, that's all we ever do.
Emergency poo buckets next week. We'll talk about them.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. You never will after this one.
Oh.